Good morning, everyone. Welcome to a special program here from Westfield Community Programming, 89.5 FM WSKB, and our media partners at Southwick Community Television and Agawam Media. I'm Mark Auerbach, host of On the Mark, and with me is Stefan Saporowski, who's the host of Superintendent Spotlight, both of which air here on this network. And we're glad to share a special program live from Barnes Municipal Airport in Westfield, and we're in the Hangar with Westfield Technical Academy. Galen Wilson is the instructor of this wonderful program that the students at Westfield Tech have. And we have two students with us who are juniors at Westfield Technical Academy in Aviation. Stefan, they're your students, so I'd like you to introduce them.
Absolutely. So we have Thomas Knapik, right? And we have Mason Jackier. Did I say that right?
Yep.
Oh,
Yes,
good. All right. And I thank you because, with a last name like Zaporowski, trust me, it gets butchered quite regularly. So I try to make an attempt to get people's names correct. So you both are juniors now in this program, right? Okay. And so when you first attended Westfield Tech, when you were freshmen 2 years ago, you went through exploratory, right? But what shop did you think you wanted before you got here? Mason, we'll start with you.
So I came to this school hoping for just a new opportunity, and I just had an open mind coming to this school.
So you did. There was no shop you were leaning toward at that point?
I knew I wanted aviation or electrical wiring were my main two, but I really wanted to have an open mind going through all the shops to see which one I really liked.
So after you went through the 1 days, what were your 1 weeks?
I knew right from the one day that aviation was the main one I wanted.
Really?
Yeah.
It was that quick?
Mm-hmm. It had everything I wanted in it.
I'm not paying them. I'm not paying them to say this.
I don't know if I believe you, Mr. Hill. No. So 1 day hooked you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 1 day. I came here, I met Mr. Wilson, Mr. Hepburn, and they were just super great to me, and I knew I could succeed here.
That's excellent. How about you, Thomas?
I knew I wanted to come to the Tech Academy ever since middle school. My parents always pushed me towards that. There's nothing better than, going to an ordinary high school is awesome and all, but, applying yourself to a trade is just perfect in the real world, especially in today's day and age. Nothing better than having a skill and getting a head start like that. So I knew I wanted to come here since middle school. I was dead set on aviation ever since,
You were? Okay.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. This is an amazing program and nothing else like it around in the country, really. I came in here and you learn, aviation aside, you learn a lot of other things in other shops. I learned in construction, I didn't realize how much I'd like it. So there's other shops, you didn't realize how much you'd like. So I found out, construction was awesome, I'm pretty good at woodworking, second on the list there. So automotive, it's also fun. So there's other shops, you never know going in, like what you think you might like one shop, but, you'll find out other shops, are an awesome experience for you, and you might want to try those. And they give you plenty of time between the 1 days and 1 weeks, on what you want to do. So
when I was principal, what I determined, and I did a study on this, I was just curious. So I would ask students what they wanted when they first started, and about half of them actually switched their choice. That's why I asked that question, because I think the exploratory process is critical to get students at least somewhat interested, because I also think it's very difficult to ask a 14-year-old to pick their career for the rest of their life, right? That's a young age to do that.
Agree.
And people do change their mind. But what I've also found is that students that are enrolled in aviation love it and are passionate about it. What do you think? Is that true?
Yeah, I agree 100%.
No, absolutely. Yeah, it's a big commitment to be here. You got to go through it all 4 years. You want to do it, right?
Yeah. Is it hard?
Some points, yes, very hard. Some of the tests, some of the reading, it's a lot stacked on top of each other. But all of us want to be here, so we all get it done.
And when you graduate in a couple of years, actually, where do you go next?
The next step I want to go is, we're working on the power plant program, so we can hopefully have a power plant program right after we're done with airframe. So
our plan is January of 25, in case you're wondering.
So go through that program, and then I'm looking big into the Air Force Academy at the moment now. And that's the main route I want to go, and I have a backup plan of Embry-Riddle.
If you get into the Air Force Academy, are you one step ahead of the other people entering because of all the aviation background that you have?
I would think so, yeah.
Yeah.
I think the airframe and general program, I think that would help me huge. Understanding all parts of the aircraft will help me a lot going into the Air Force Academy.
Great. And what about you?
Certainly, I definitely want to attend college after this, and with power plant, it's an excellent opportunity to just get myself a license that I can keep forever and always fall back on. In aviation, I didn't realize when I came here how big and broad the career field is, and it's completely future-proof. There's just a ton of stuff I could do. So I found out through this program going to college, and I want to be an air traffic controller in the future, which I'm thinking about definitely. So excellent career field. Obviously this is about maintenance, but there's also, the pilot side and, marshaling and all grounds crew, and there's air traffic control, which is what I look towards, which was just completely, I didn't even think about that freshman year when I came here, but, it's just so vast, the career fields you can choose here.
Well, you said future-proof, and that was pretty impressive that you thought of that, by the way. And I say that because aviation isn't going anywhere, is it?
No, heavily regulated,
But we're always going to be flying. I mean, it's not going anywhere. It's not like you're studying something that's going to go out of fashion or anything of that nature. So you're always going to be able to apply this. So why air traffic controller? I find that interesting.
Yeah.
Although it's a nice paying job, by the way. But why? Aside from that, let's take the money out of the picture. But why that particular field?
I'd always thought of myself, working good under high stress situations.
That's high stress.
I like to challenge myself and really put myself out there. So I thought, being an air traffic controller is a good way to just challenge myself, under high intensity situations. There's a need for them. You can't really replace them with robots or AI.
No.
And every with how many airports there are, there's always a need for them. At least 2, and it's a constant running thing in most airports. So I don't know how I really came across it, but certainly being here has just opened my horizons on how many opportunities I can have at this shop and how many career fields I can go right after I graduate.
It's really unique here, don't you think? I mean, that we have this opportunity. Are you appreciative? I'm sure you are, but can you talk about that for a sec?
Yeah, I'm super appreciative of this shop. I mean, it's helped me huge. It's grown my experience, not only working on aircraft, but with also people, meeting so many people here. And I feel like it's made a huge step in school and everything, putting me on the right track.
Have you both flown now? And what's it like being a student and being up in the skies above Westfield?
It's an amazing feeling. I soloed in a plane just by myself, and that was incredible, just being able to control the plane by myself.
How long ago did you do that?
I did that last June.
Wow. I haven't done that. I've only been a passenger with Mr. Drumgold. You know Mr. Drumgold, right? He's the advisory chair for this program. It has been since its inception 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Wow.
And what about you? Have you been up in the skies?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I fly with Joe Mitchell a lot. He's a good friend of my dad's. So, how many high school kids can say they've flown a plane for high school, right?
Well, does this even feel like school to you?
I mean, you could say yes because, there's the intensive studying aspect, but no, you chose this shop on your own terms, right? You chose it because you love it, You're here because you want to be here, not because you're forced to be here.
So you enjoy coming to the hangar. How often do you guys come to the hangar, and how often are you in the classroom?
We're pretty much
back at Tech.
So I would say we're in the classroom when we're doing PowerPoints or studying about a new topic or subject and getting to learn the material. And then after that, we come right to the hangar to start working on anything we can.
Where would you rather be, the hangar or the Tech campus?
Of course, the hangar.
Yeah. Which of these planes and helicopters that were sitting in this hangar were surrounded by aircraft? Do you have a favorite?
I would say the Beechcraft Baron. It's one of my favorite to work on. It's just, I don't know, I feel like
that's that one over there.
Yeah.
I remember when we got that plane.
Yes.
How about the Cherokee that's out there?
Yeah, that one's fun too.
That's the one we pushed through downtown Westfield at 3 a.m. when we opened the program.
Yes, we did.
As a grand opening.
Yes, we did,
I'll never
didn't we?
forget that because, it was 3 a.m. and you're pushing a plane through downtown Westfield. That doesn't happen every day.
No, I think that's a rare occurrence.
Yes, it is.
Have you flown any of these planes, or when you've flown flying other aircraft?
When I went flying, I fly with Fly Lugo.
Okay, you did.
Mm-hmm.
They're a big
Now,
supporter
you've flown
of
in
our
the
program.
Stearman.
I have flown in the Stearman.
So the aircraft, the bi-wing behind us.
So I've flown in this too, by the way, and I was scared. I'm not going to lie to you. I was very afraid. And Mr. Drumgold was the pilot, thankfully. He actually gave me the opportunity to fly the plane, but I couldn't do it because I was still too scared. I'd be better now, but your first time up in a plane like that is pretty nerve-wracking, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I've been on a 737. That's great. I fly Southwest or whatever, but when you're in these, it's a different experience.
It's different.
Fly over your house at all?
Yeah, I've flown over my house. And back to what you were saying, it's scary. You can't just pull over in the side of the air. So.
Right,
Well, and then
right.
I made the mistake of asking what happens if we crash.
Right.
Well, I think we know the answer to that, but we're not going to go there. But Mark, I think we're out of time already.
Yeah, we are out of time, and Wow, this has just been so great chatting with you guys.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you so much, and I hope that your careers take you up in the skies.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being our guest today. Really, you are an inspiration to us all. So thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
And Galen Wilson is the instructor, and you do a great job with these students. Thanks for helping out.
Yes, sir.
We're going to take a quick break to acknowledge the underwriters that make this program possible. Here at Westfield Community Programming, 89.5 FM WSKB, and our media partners at Agawam Media and Southwick Community Television. I'm Mark Auerbach from Westfield Community Programming. My pal Stefan Zaporowski is here from Superintendent Spotlight, another program we have here, and we'll be back after these messages, so don't go away.
Support for community radio on WSKB is provided by Rocky's Ace Hardware for all your winter snow removal needs. Plus, you'll experience our legendary helpful service in every department. Rocky's, rock solid service since 1926.
Join us every Thursday morning
from 6 until at least 7:30.
Check out the Bobby G and Company Show
Right here on WSKB 89.5.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB.
Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 and 89.5 FM WSKB Westfield.
Then you're bringing us back in.
Hey, good morning. Welcome back to joint show today of Superintendent Spotlight, and my friend is on my right, Mark Auerbach, on the mark. So thank you for joining us in our hangar here. To my left is Galen Wilson. He is the department chair for the aviation maintenance program here at Westfield Technical Academy. And we have a couple students today, 2 sophomores, right? We have Aiden Murphy and we have Matthew McCrary. How are you both doing this morning?
Good. You're outstanding. How are you?
We're doing okay. Thank you for being on the show today. You know what I wanted to ask you both, and when you first attended Westfield Tech and you went through exploratory, what shop did you think you wanted before aviation, or did you always want aviation? Aiden, you can go first.
I actually thought I wanted electrical, but I really liked the 1 week in here.
So that changed your mind. And you're a sophomore now. Are you happy you made that choice?
Yeah, I am.
Very happy. Okay, there's a smile coming, so that's pretty good.
Yeah.
How about you, Matthew? What do you think?
Yeah, so when I came to school, I always wanted to be in aviation.
Okay.
There's a few other things I was considering, but my main thing I always wanted to do was aviation.
So you're pretty excited that you got into the program.
Oh, I'm thrilled.
You're thrilled. What do you think you want to do, both of you? I mean, and you still have more to go, but do you have any idea what you think you might want to do when you graduate from Westfield Technical Academy?
Well, I think I have a lot of thinking to do still, but I'm maybe National Guard, something like that.
Wow. So you're going to go the military route. Okay. How about you, Matt?
I'm thinking to stay in the maintenance field for a while.
Okay.
And then eventually become a pilot for some big companies like JetBlue or just any flying companies. I really love to fly.
You love to fly. Mark, that cues you, I think.
Yeah. Have you both been flying?
Yeah.
Yes, I've been flying.
What's it like to fly over Westfield?
It was fun.
Yeah. Could you point out your school and your house and all that?
I didn't go that far where I could see everything. It was more over barns.
Were you nervous?
At first I was, but once I was up there.
Had you ever been on a plane before?
Not a smaller one.
It's the small planes that are a little bit different. Like you can go on a 737, right, and not even look out the window and not think about it. But when you're in these planes, and I've flown in this one right behind us.
That's what I flew into.
Okay, so you know what I'm talking about. What you don't know is if you look down, you can actually see parts of like the ground, like not the plane. It's really a little nerve-wracking.
It's a clear view right
There's
to the
a
ground.
clear view.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, to me, it would be a big adventure. I couldn't wait to try it.
It was an adventure.
Yeah.
It was an adventure.
And what about you? Had you flown before you got in the program?
Yeah, so before I came in the program, I was taking flying lessons.
Oh, you
and
were?
So out of here, I would fly, just fly around Westfield, so I'd be able to point out the school, point out my house, point out some key landmarks. And being that high up in the air and be able to see everything from up above.
It's pretty cool, right?
Puts everything into perspective, and it's amazing.
Are you certified as a pilot yet, or you have a way to go?
I am working on it. I'm closer than I was when I started. That's what I want to end up as before I graduate. I want to get my private pilot's license, so be able to get my own aircraft and fly it around as much as I want.
How difficult is it for you guys to do your academic requirements, like in school English and science and math, and balance that with being here in the hangar and learning aviation?
I don't think it's too hard because it's separated by week. So once academics is over, I know it's time for shop, and that's what I should focus on.
And what do you like better, shop or academics?
Shop for sure.
What about you?
I mean, it's a difficult balance, trying to get through different tests and stuff that you have during your normal weeks, and then transferring to a whole new setting next week. But, I mean, like as Aiden said, it's worth it.
It
love
is worth
shop, love working here, love learning stuff.
Do you think you're fortunate to grow up in a town that has an airport like this in your backyard?
Definitely.
Of course,
Yeah. And do you know? Are you out here a lot besides school, watching the planes and learning on your own time?
When I was little, I was around a lot.
You did?
Not so often now, but you can still hear them flying above. You can still look up and see the planes flying.
Well, they take off from here periodically too, right?
Yeah.
So you must get to see that on a
Every
regular
day.
basis every day. And do you block your ears like I do when they go by?
Yeah, I mean, when we're closer to the hangar doors, definitely.
You have to, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we've been taping here all morning and we haven't heard them or seen them. It seems very quiet out there today.
Yeah.
Today's a very quiet day. Usually it's not like this. When they have the F-15s flying out and they have just normal aircraft flying out, it's usually louder. But today's one of those quiet days.
Well, it's because they knew we were doing a show today, Mark, so that's why they put a
considerate.
pause.
Yeah,
they're being
I'm very
considerate.
appreciative that they did that. That was very kind of them.
Mr. Wilson must have worked that out for us.
Yes, worked a little magic. But you know what's interesting is the F-15s will fly over, and initially you look, and then they'll fly over again, and then it gets to a point where you stop looking and you're just covering your ears. So there's a pause. Cover your ears. They go by, and you keep teaching, and you keep learning. So you almost become numb to it.
It's almost like the bell when you're at the class. I mean, it's not as loud.
Right.
The bell's loud, not as loud. But
not as loud.
You kind of ignore the bell.
You kind of ignore it, and you just kind of ignore the F-15s if you can wrap your arms around that. You could just.
It becomes background noise to what you're doing.
Yeah,
every
it
day.
does. It does. I grew up in a theater world, and I apprenticed one summer at a tent theater in West Springfield while Westover was doing maneuvers during shows, and we'd have to stop the show, and the audience would understand, and then when the B-52 finished flying over, we'd start all over again.
The B-52.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's been a while.
It has.
All right. I think that takes us to our next break. We are at 11. That takes us to our next break.
Gentlemen, I want to thank both of you for being here, and
of course.
we hope to see you around Barnes again soon, and I hope that your career takes you up to the skies.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
And I'll tell you this. When you get your pilot's license, I have full faith and confidence I will go in any plane that you're flying.
Well, I appreciate that, sir.
And he's laughing at me. And Aiden, I'll go in any plane you're fixing. So there you go.
Thank you, gentlemen, very much.
Thank you for having us.
Okay, we're going to take a quick break to acknowledge our underwriters, and we'll be back more with this special program from Superintendent Spotlight and On the Mark, so don't go away.
Support for community programming on WSKB is provided by Betts Plumbing and Heating Supply Company, an independent, family-owned wholesaler serving Westfield for over 50 years, specializing in plumbing, heating, and industrial piping supplies. Visit bettsplumbing.com or 14 Coleman Avenue, Westfield. Public welcome.
This is Ken Stomsky from Ken's Den on WCPC 15 and 89.5 FM, Tuesdays, 8 to 10.
Community Radio 89.5 WSKB.
Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 and 89.5 FM, WSKB Westfield.
All right, and welcome back to a joint show on the Mark with Mark Auerbach and Superintendent Spotlight. And boy, this has been an exciting taping, hasn't
You
it?
didn't tell people that are listening what your name is, so
Oh,
I'll
no.
say this is Stefan Zaporowski.
I forgot that part.
And we're here with Galen Wilson, who is the instructor and kind of the creator of this aviation program at Westfield Technical Academy. And I've learned today it's one of 3 in the country that are based in high schools. And we are in the hangar of Westfield Barnes Regional Airport, where students at Westfield Technical Academy put together and take apart planes. We have 2 students with us today, and they are students of Galen Wilson. So welcome to both of you. Introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about how you got into this program. We'll start with you.
I'm Kason Noskin, and I just always loved like aircrafts, coming around them and being like near the field, and I just thought it would be like a great opportunity for me to learn how to work on aircrafts and really further my knowledge in anything that moves, really.
Anything that flies.
Yeah.
I'm Jack Knappich, and I initially came to this school kind of to do automotive and like auto tech or collision, but then my brother got into this program a year before me, and he told me a lot about it and how it's very diverse. There's a lot of different things we do, going from electrical avionics, and then we also do sheet metal working and do a lot of fabricking. So it's a lot of different subjects that we cover, and I've always been into like military aviation, and so a lot of the instructors come from military backgrounds. And so I feel like, me personally, that's really cool, and I can learn a lot from them and kind of help me on my journey to maybe go into the Air Force or get a job in a military field.
So when you guys get out of school and move on, what do you think you would like to do? Do you want to go to college? Do you want to go right into the field? Do you want to get your pilot's license? What's in your future?
So I plan on going to college, either at the academy or somewhere down in Florida like Embry-Riddle, and getting a degree in finance and also into like aircraft management, airport management. And then I'm looking to get either a job as a pilot in the Air Force, or might be doing like an airport management job somewhere at an airport.
What is the airport management job? What would it entail?
Airport management would be managing the whole airport, all the finances, runway management, getting funds for the airport, and like making sure everybody's like paying the rent, the hangar spaces, all that.
Watch out, Chris Willenborg.
Yeah.
We have.
Yep.
Yeah, we have.
And what about you?
In a couple years down the road, I'd love to do inspections and become an IA. And
what's an IA, just for folks who may
it's
not know?
Inspector authorization.
Okay.
So you're allowed to inspect aircrafts and sign off major repairs and everything. And I've just liked inspections, and that's what we're doing right now. And it's just an interest of mine.
And how difficult is it for you in this program to balance the academics that you have to graduate high school and all of the work that you're getting to do here?
If you stay on top of it, do everything once it's assigned, study when you can, it doesn't become that hard. But if the second you start to fall behind, it can be kind of hard to catch back up and get to pace.
Yeah, I think they give you a good pace in the shop, learning how to study the first couple weeks, how to take notes, how to read the book and everything. So they give you a good base knowledge of how to keep up with everything. And academics are, you can, I base it off the same thing that I do in here. I do the same study methods, and I just keep on top of it.
How are your grades, both of you?
Right now I'm looking at about a 95 to 96 average in all classes.
Good for you.
That's great.
Yeah, and I'm around a 93, 94.
That's pretty darn good.
Around a 4.0 GPA.
Galen, these are your star students then?
Yes, sir. They're all stars. They're all stars,
but these guys are pretty accomplished at that.
They are.
Have you
Very
both
impressed.
flown?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
when did you fly? Once you got here, or did you fly before?
I've flown before with my parents' friend, and then I've also flown here.
Okay.
Yeah, my first flight was here.
It was.
It must have been a rush. What kind of experience was it being up over the skies of Westfield?
Oh, it was amazing. You could see everything, and it gives you a whole different perspective on how it's like everybody is living like a whole different life. So I might be living something right now, but then somebody maybe a couple miles away is living a completely different life right now at this time.
And you get to see it from the air, right?
Yeah.
That's pretty impressive.
When you fly now, do you, if you fly commercially, are you able to point out places that you know?
You could see big landmarks, kind of, and you could pinpoint that, but the smaller things, you wouldn't be able to see your house. It's very hard to see. You might be able to spot it for a second, but
the flight path to Bradley is over my house, and every time I fly back into Hartford, Springfield, I'm looking down to see. And in the summertime, when there are leaves on the trees, I don't see anything. In the wintertime, I can see my pool, I can see my, the driveway and all of that.
Yeah.
And there's something to be said about looking down on the earth from being up above.
Absolutely. So, Kason, you said you wanted aviation all along too, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
what made you think that? Is there aviation in the family, in the blood? What do we got here? Is there what brought what?
I think
what
he's a natural.
That too? Okay.
Yeah. My uncle was he was a mechanic.
Okay.
In his later part of his career in the armed forces.
All right.
And I've just seen pictures with him in planes. I've been to every air show that's been at Barnes. It's just always been a huge interest for me.
And how's your family feel about you in this particular field?
They love it. They love the shop. They love coming and seeing all the planes. They love the knowledge that I bring to the table every day.
Do you go home and talk about aviation?
All the time. It's an everyday thing.
Jack, you?
Perfect.
So my grandpa was in the Marines, and then his brothers were also in the armed forces, and so that kind of gave me my outlook on like the military aircraft kind of, and how I really like enjoy the looking at them and like the architecture kind of in it and the engineering involved in designing them, because like I personally find that to be really cool.
Do you think, and you both knew right away you wanted aviation? Well, you said you wanted auto tech to
I
start.
wanted auto tech because I'm a big fan of like racing and cars, and I know that this school had before an motorsports club before with Mr. Teft, but that's gone now.
Yeah.
But a lot of the stuff that's done in the car is also done inside of aircraft. It's just a lot more peculiar, like our particular kind of. You got to be more precise on it. And
we appreciate that. For those of us who fly in planes or passengers, we appreciate the particular. Okay, we do.
Yes.
Do you think that? I mean, do you both just like? Are you comfortable with tools? I mean, you have to be, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I've
it's
been
easy.
working on anything that runs, drives, flies.
Yeah.
So what do you
naturals?
Love
Love them all. And they do work hard, and there is a lot of testing, and we hold our feet to the fire sometimes, but it pays off. But it pays off for sure, and two remarkable students here.
Absolutely. Are they going to end up maybe doing some Gulfstream apprenticeship down the road, or are they already?
If they so incline.
Yeah.
If that's something
Does that
they
interest
want.
you?
It kind of conflicts with high school sports, so I might not. And right out of high school, I'm probably going to just go get my airframe. Once we get power plant, probably do that and then go straight to college.
So I think we're starting power plant next January January 25.
Yep.
So you'll be, because you're sophomores, you will have considerable exposure, correct?
Yes.
And you'll be able to leave with both. But you both play baseball, so you brought that up too.
Yep.
And I think you're doing pretty good right now, right?
Yeah, we're doing. I believe our record is what?
I think we're 7-3.
7-3. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I remember when I was the principal, our teams didn't always do that well. So congratulations for that too.
Thank you.
But if you think about what you want to move toward, baseball is important, right? Agreed. But the aviation piece, do you think it changes? Do you think you're busier than other students in other programs? That's what I want to ask.
I would say that a lot more of aviation, it would be also done outside of school because we don't have co-op like other programs. So like they might have a lot of time off. If we were to like take that internship at Gulfstream, we're going to be working 10-hour shifts 4 days a week. And so that takes up a lot of time.
Sure does.
Right outside of high school, outside like during summer vacation too.
Right.
But as well with the kids on co-op, they're going to work less shifts. Or maybe more shifts, but less hours for the shifts.
Right.
They'll have more free time to do other things.
Well, then I love baseball myself, so I appreciate that. Are you guys Red Sox or Yankees fans?
Red Sox.
Red Sox.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Which of these planes in this hangar? I mean, you've worked on all of them. There's a helicopter. There's a biplane. A couple. Is any one of them your favorite or the most challenging?
It's got to be the Stearman.
It's the
The one behind us.
Yeah.
Why?
It's military aircraft. I love military aircraft, and it's really this one's actually flight worthy.
I've flown it.
airworthy.
I know.
Yeah, and it's that was the first plane that we were able to fly in this program, right? Along with the Piper 6, and it's really sick.
Yeah, me and Jack have also got the opportunity to work on it.
Okay.
In the engine and just around it, and it's just it's an awesome piece of machinery.
How often does it go out and fly?
Right now, I believe it's grounded for a little bit, but once it's up in the air, it's like during the time of the air show, it's up at least twice a day, maybe.
Yeah, it flies. We keep it airborne as much as we can. It does have a technical malfunction that we're trying to work through right now, but It's not a bridge too far. It's something we're going to be able to fix.
Are you just easily distracted by all the aircraft activity out there, the fighter jets and the cargo planes and everything else that are in and out of here all day?
The jets can be a little loud, but
do you block your ears?
You sometimes block the ears. Like if we're back in our corner by our learning space, we might not need to, but it kind of can interrupt it a little bit.
If
but
you're out there, you have to.
Out there, cover your ears, protect the ears.
Mm-hmm. But do you get used to it?
Yeah.
It's like different, same thing, different day, right?
Yeah.
Nice. All right. I think let's wrap that up. And I think,
gentlemen, thanks for being here today.
Thank you for having us.
Good luck in your careers. I mean, you guys are so grounded, not grounded in aviation terms, but grounded in psychological terms, and know what you want to do and have the ambition and everything. And I really applaud you for that.
It's terrific to talk to young people today that know exactly what they want to do, have known for a long time, and work hard for it. And you inspire all of us, and you make Westfield Public Schools, and I'm sure your parents are very proud.
Yep.
And Chief Wilson, too.
Yes, for sure.
And Chief Wilson. We're going to take a quick break to acknowledge our underwriters that make On the Mark and Superintendent Spotlight possible. Galen Wilson, we have to acknowledge, he is the chief of the Westfield Technical Academy Aviation Program, and he's assembled a bunch of great students today and has given us this fabulous hangar with a great view of the runways to work at. Ken Stomsky's our chief engineer, and we will return after these messages, so don't go away.
Funding for community radio on 89.5 WSKB Westfield is brought to you in part by Noble Hospital and the Noble Health Network. Noble Hospital, your community hospital.
Hi, this is Harry Rock, host of Rock on Westfield every fourth Wednesday at 8 a.m. Tune in for my view of this place I call home.
Community Radio 89.5 WSKB.
Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 and 89.5 FM, WSKB Westfield.
All right, welcome back to a special edition of a combination show, Superintendent Spotlight and On the Mark with Mark Auerbach. So, Mark, it's been a pleasure working with you these last two shows.
Stefan, it's just been terrific, and I'm glad we get to collaborate on a project like this, and to have Galen Wilson, who is I would say the number one chief of Westfield Technical Academy's aviation program. And Galen, you brought so many great students here, and we have another trio of aviation students, and I was hoping that you might introduce them.
Yes. So to your immediate right, we have Savannah. And
Hi,
then
Savannah.
Hello.
Hi, Savannah.
And then we have Olivia.
Hi, Olivia.
Hi, Olivia.
And we have Rylan. And they are all juniors in the aviation program.
But I think Olivia's wearing my sweatshirt.
Yeah.
We're wearing the same sweatshirt.
Yes, twins.
We're twins today.
Yeah. So the three of you are studying aviation. You're in a great program. And one thing that I noticed is that there are a lot of women in this program, which is, when you think of aviation, it's still, there's a lot of glass ceilings that still need to be broken. Why did you choose aviation as something you were interested in?
I just kind of fell in love with planes when I came in through my 1 week, and noticing that there was a lot of boys, I wanted to make a difference with the girls.
Love it.
I wanted to start flying. That's like what I kind of had in mind, and then I saw this, and like I thought it'd be really cool to be able to work on planes and just be around them, and also be part of like the small amount of women in the industry.
Have you flown yet?
Yes.
And what was that like?
It's amazing. I love it. I'm close to soloing.
Oh my gosh.
Are you learning here at Barnes?
Yeah, I'm learning at Fly Lugo.
Okay.
That's terrific.
I
Rylan.
just saw like all the cool stuff, and like I don't know, it seemed like they said it was hard, and I wanted a challenge to.
Yeah. You know, when someone tells me it's too hard, it makes me want to do it more.
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
Doesn't it though? Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
Like, really? You think I can't do this? I'll prove you wrong.
Right. Tell me I can't. Okay.
What's the most difficult part about it? Is it balancing the academic, where you have to go to school, so to speak, and learning this? Or is it the time commitment? Or what makes it a challenge to you?
Definitely the tests. Like, we'll learn a topic the week, like our shop week, and then we'll have to wait another week to come back into shop to actually take the test sometimes.
I agree.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Remembering it over an academic week.
Yeah.
Do you like being in the shop or academics more?
Shop.
That seems to be a trend, Mr.
Right,
Wilson. I don't
yeah.
understand why.
What's up with that?
So, Rylan, it's interesting because what shop did you think you want when you started coming to Westfield Technical Academy?
I didn't really know. I was
Okay.
just trying them all, and I don't know. I was thinking of culinary, and like I was just way on the opposite end of this, and I don't know.
So the 1 days and then the 1 week sold you?
Yeah.
All right. How about you, Olivia? What shop do you?
I came here for
Aviation.
Yeah.
All right. And Savannah?
I was in between two. It was allied health and electrical, but.
And then you
I
went
stuck
through the
with
1 days
yeah.
and the 1 weeks?
Yep.
And they sold you?
Yes.
What's the biggest challenge about being in this hangar and working on all these planes?
I get distracted easily with the loud noises outside.
Yeah, watching the planes take
Yeah.
off. Yeah. The F-15s take off.
We all do, I have to
Yeah.
admit.
Guilty.
Guilty.
And I don't want to jinx anything, but we've been taping for a couple of hours and they're not flying today.
I'm surprised.
We are too. We think Mr. Wilson put in the word to tell him to stop so we could record.
Either that or
without
they're all
interruption.
sitting at the end of the runway with their engines off, and as soon as we hit the final credits, going to hear the zoom and off they go.
Yep.
So, do you think, what do you want to do when you, like in particular, do you want to be a pilot? Do you want to work on aircraft? Do you want to go to college? Do you want to go right into industry? What do you think you all want to do when you're finished? You're juniors. That's coming up a lot sooner than you think, and you're going to almost be seniors. Think about it.
In 3 weeks when
Yes.
you graduate, yes.
After high school, I'm gonna get into the Air National Guard, and then I'm hoping from there I can get a pilot slot to fly a fighter jet or something.
Really?
Yeah, it's
Good
my
for you.
dream. But
That's your dream.
Yep.
How
That's
about
a good
that?
dream.
How about that, huh? Mm-hmm.
Nice.
So for me, I want to get my pilot's license by the time I graduate, and then after high school, I want to become a CFI.
What's a CFI? Because
Certified flight instructor, and teach people how to fly until I have enough enough hours to go to the airlines, and I want to become a commercial pilot.
You want to be a commercial
How
pilot?
many hours will you need to become a commercial pilot?
For co-pilot, it's 1,500.
Wow.
1,500. Wow. All right, Rylan, what do you think you want to do?
I've been thinking a lot. I think I want to sell airplanes. I don't know how I would get there, but just being here is a big start.
Well, it's a big start, and you're also going to know about the product that you're
course,
selling.
yeah.
And if you don't know about the product, you shouldn't be selling it. Isn't that
Exactly.
fair to say?
That's
Yes.
fair to say. Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. Really, as a consumer, we're all consumers. You'd like to know someone who's an expert in their field before you talk about them. Do you think that, and Mr. Arbach was talking about this before, Mark was saying, just about the amount of young ladies in this field that are now starting to come up. Do you find that challenging? I mean, in other words, do people say like, oh, girls don't belong here? Because we don't believe that. But I'm just wondering if you've ever encountered that, because that's, some fields are definitely dominated by men, right?
Yeah, sometimes they do. They'll like put it in your head, but
You don't let it bother you.
it's not.
You can't let it.
Yeah.
You can't let it bother you.
That's what I want to hear, like what we were saying before. Tell me, I can't do something, and we'll make it happen. Do you think, so what is your favorite aircraft to work on in here? And the Learjet is outside, I'm imagining? I haven't been out there
It
yet.
is.
And the Cherokee's outside too. So what's your favorite thing to work on? Is it the helicopter maybe, or the Beach Baron, the
Probably
Baron?
the Piper.
The Piper.
Yeah.
I agree.
Why?
Because that's very similar to the plane I fly.
Okay, so you know it.
So
Okay.
I like the Learjet because it's just so big and like there's so many parts about it. You just have to like go into it.
So when we got that Learjet, I was the principal of the tech school, and I remember when that came in. That was something.
Yeah,
Yes,
how do you acquire these planes?
NASA.
Do people donate them to you? or-
Yeah, so you can get on the GSA website, and if you're a municipal or a government agency, and you can obtain these GSA assets. And one of the things they were getting rid of was this Learjet 23, and so we found that and jumped on it. And
they're giveaways, or you buy them?
It's a giveaway, but we still
Well,
had to
with a catch.
transport it.
Right.
Had to transport it, so that's still, that's not cheap. But what's interesting about the Learjet is it came from John Glenn Research Lab. So John Glenn walked on the moon. So we have a Learjet that came from his research facility. Isn't that cool? Isn't that it's just neat, and it's got Glenn's name in on the side of it.
That really is cool. Do you anticipate down the road maybe getting a commercial aircraft, like a retired 737 or something like that?
Nothing big like that because they cost too much to maintain.
Right.
And so something small. I'd like to get a twin-engine turboprop. So turboprop meaning a jet prop. So something smaller that we can actually taxi, because all these students have to taxi. They have to do emergency procedures.
So he's talking about taxiing. What does taxiing means for the rest of
So like when you're going from like the main ramp out, like you have to taxi out to get to your hold short of the runway.
Okay.
So it's just like kind of moving the plane on like the taxiways.
So how do you move it? With what?
Rudder.
You just run the plane and drive?
No, you have your foot pedals that control where the plane goes.
Okay.
Steer it with your feet.
Yeah, you steer with your feet.
Yeah.
Is that hard to get used to?
No, because it wasn't hard for me because I started flying before I started driving.
Okay.
So, but people who start flying after they drive, they want to steer with their hands.
Come on, it's the way you drive. That's just the way it is,
yeah,
right?
Everyone does that. They grab the yoke.
And so what do you think is, in the end, is this harder than your academic schedule?
Yeah.
Yeah. But you're doing okay.
Yeah.
Mr. Wilson speaks highly of all of them. What do you think?
Yeah, they're actually doing great.
They are.
Yeah.
Hard workers?
Yeah, absolutely. No problems with any of them. And if there's a problem, I'm gonna let you know, right?
Yes.
Real quick, right? and then we fix it and we move on.
Right.
So no, great students here.
Mr. Wilson's teaching style work for you?
Yes.
He's a good guy.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
say that because I hired him. So I can say
He
that.
actually did hire me.
I did.
Well, we are out of time, but I want to thank the three of you for joining us today. I hope that I hate to put it in aviation terms, but I hope your careers soar right up into the skies.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here today. And this wraps up another special program that Superintendent Spotlight with Stefan Zaborowski and On the Mark with me have had the opportunity to collaborate and do. And we thank Galen Wilson, who is the kind of the brains behind the Westfield Technical Academy Aviation Program. It's one of 3 high schools in the country that have this, and it takes place right here at Westfield Barnes Regional Airport, right around the corner from Westfield Technical Academy. Ken Stomsky's been our chief engineer today. We thank him. We thank the people of Barnes Airport. And both of us will be back next week with our regular programming, although on the Mark, we'll have a special program again here from the Hangar at Barnes, talking with the people from Barnes Airport. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you both next week.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.